Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a fun looking puzzle here. I think we did a loop puzzle not too long ago. Probably a week ago, I guess, at this point. But this is another one. It's not the same concepts really, I guess, but just a kind of an afterthought there. But anywho, again, it's a good looking puzzle here. It's called Parity Loop, so we can kind of take a guess as to what the theme is going to be here. And it's by Brainteaser Artisan, who it's been a little while, I think, since I've done one of their puzzles, so that'd be fun to get back into this. I also think this puzzle, no, it's not this one. I was thinking of something else, so forget what I was saying there. Let's just look at our rules and see what is going on here. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So every row, column, and 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. We've got digits in cages, cannot repeat and must sum to the clue in the corner if given. So those are killer cages. So here we have a 9 clue. These 3 digits add up to 9. What do we got next? Digits separated by an X must sum to 10. Digits separated by a V must sum to 5. So we have 1 V clue. These are 5. And 2 10 clues. These are 10s when added together. Digits separated by a white dot must be consecutive. Digits separated by a black dot in a 1-to-2 ratio. So normal, Kropki rules, these are consecutive. These are a 2-to-1 ratio, or one of these is double the other. And we've got quite a lot of rules here, but they're all fairly normal rules until well, I guess the last rule is still kind of normal anyway, but anyway. Digits along an arrow must sum to the digit in that arrow's circle. So we've got 2 arrows here. These 2 digits will add up to whatever that digit is. And finally, we get to our parity loop. So draw a 1-cell wide loop of orthogonally connected cells that must pass through every cell in every cage without visiting any cage more than once. The loop cannot touch itself orthogonally, but may touch itself diagonally. The loop acts as a parity line, meaning adjacent digits must alternate between odd and even. Okay, so let's go through that. So let's just say the loop does something like, well, I can't do that, but this, just for sake of saying it. We're going to know that, I'll color as well, this is the loop in this particular example. And we're going to know that, first off, we have used every single cage cell, which is part of the rule here, and we've not exited a cage and then come back in it again to get everything. We're also going to know that along our loop we have the parities, so we're going to have odds and evens. So if this was an odd digit, this would be even, odd, even, and so on down the line. So and that is our final rule. So I will get rid of this stuff. And we'll get started on this thing. I don't think there's anything else I need to say on here, so link is going to be in the description below. Let's get started. So, well, I'll use green as my color for our loop. So we know that every single cage is going to be fully included. And so let's look at this guy here. We know the loop must obviously go all the way around and come back to itself. So if we're stuck in a corner like this, the only way we get out is if we do this. Now, for both of these connections, we can't turn back down because we can't turn onto each other. So we have to go here and here to make the connection. And I think I'll probably, because I have a feeling this is going to turn into an odd even type of situation where we're going to have to color odds and evens. That's my guess, at least. So I'm going to put this line in here so that we can remember where our path actually is, and then the coloring itself isn't necessarily going to distract us from that. So what else do we know, if anything, about this loop? Well, I think we know when it comes this way, it's either going to turn in here or it's going to turn in here. Yeah, because there's no way we can turn back on ourselves. So if it did go this way, it has to just continue on Well, no, actually it could do this, couldn't it? Yeah, because that doesn't touch itself. Okay, so it could do that or that. And if we were to come down this way, yeah, in this turn we have to turn this way because there's no way to go around and then come back up to connect into it. So we don't really know how these connect yet. What about these guys? We know that this has to get out and it can't turn on itself. So it does this again, like we did up here. It can't turn up. It has to go this way. This one can't turn up because it would create this branching situation. So it has to come out and then it has to come up. So we can... did that? Okay, wasn't sure if that did what with that. So we have some of this stuff figured. Can we do anything more with this guy before we start looking elsewhere? I think we have to come down this way because we can't go this way. And if we went this way, how do we get back to here? We can't without touching ourselves orthogonally, and that's not going to work. Yeah, and we can't come out here and then cut back like we could have done here, because we still either have to come back in or come here and do this, and that doesn't work. So the only way we can get out of here is to come down at least one more space. Now we don't necessarily know. Well, we can think about this 10 clue to see. Yeah, let's think about the 10 clue. Because the only way a 10 clue works is it's either 2 evens or 2 odds. Now, this loop is a parity line, so we have to shift between even and odd on the line, but we can't do it on this 10. So if we can't go this way, we're not going to be able to go this way because we create the same problems here, so we just have to come straight down. Okay, so we have connected these. Now, we can't, that the 10 that works there does not, we don't have anything. This arrow doesn't necessarily tell us anything about this. But what we can do now at this point is differentiate between our, well, not necessarily between the odd and the even, but we can start talking about which cells are of the same parity. And this is where this line is going to come in to help us maintain what we're doing. I'm going to do, yeah, I think yellow and green work as they see each other quite well. So we're going to, like on these 28 and 30, well, actually the 30, we know what the 30 cage must have because it's 4 cells, so it must be 9876. The 27 cage, I don't think we can do anything with that. The 13, not really, because it could be 9485 or 76. Okay. The 28. I mean, we know there's a 9 on it. I don't know how useful that might be. What about the 9? Because we're going to have 2 of the same parity and one that's different. So if these were even digits, let's just say it's a 2 and a 4, we're at 6. This would be a 3, which works. What if these were odd? We'd have a 1 and a 3, let's say. It doesn't matter how many odds. They're both going to... Okay, that doesn't work, actually. If we just think about how odds and evens work together when you add 2 of the same thing together. So if you add 2 evens together, you get an even, and this would be an odd, and that works to make an odd digit. If these were both odd, we have an even digit still in total, and then we have to add another odd to it to get back to an odd digit, but we just said these were odd, so this doesn't work. So these are even. So we actually do know what our parities are. So let's do it here. We know the green is even, so therefore these are not 7, 9. The yellows are odd, so they are not 6 and 8. So we put those in now so we have a frame of reference. Now let's think about, because obviously we can't put an 8 as one of the even digits here. We could put a 6, so it could be 2, 4, or 6. And actually there has to be a 2 here, doesn't it? Because obviously there can't be a 6, 4, that would be 10. So yes, one of these is 2. Is that useful in any way? Don't quite know, but let's see what each option will give us here, because we know this is odd. It's going to turn out to be odd, but we are also on a black Kropki, so there might be something to differentiate there. So if we have a 2 and a 4, we're at 6. This has to be 3. If we have a 2 and a 6, we're at 8. This would be a 1. So, okay, this can't be a 1, because we just said one of these has to be a 2. If this was a 1, this would have to be a 2. So this has to be a 3. Therefore, these have to add up to 6, so that has to be the 2, 4 pair. Good. If this is a 3, now we have a black Kropki. This has to be 6. Okay. We've got a little bit of movement here. Now, again, like I was saying with the line, do I want to start coloring these? I'm not entirely sure at the moment, but we probably will want to. But for right now, I'm going to hold until we think about this a little bit further, and then it becomes apparent that we must color. Or if it does become apparent, we don't quite know. Okay, we said something previously about this X was it's either boast, that's a good one. They're either both even or both odd. There's obviously, you can't have an even digit and an odd digit on either side of an X clue, because you'd have an odd digit at the end of the day, which 10 isn't. So these have to either both be odd or both be even. Obviously, we can't make 2 more even digits, so these are odd. So I am going to start coloring the rest of them. This must be an even digit because all it's left, and it must be the 8. Now, what about U? Because we know it's... Okay, so there's 2 ways of making 10 that are odd digits, and 2 ways to make it with even digits. The odd digit ways are 9, 1, and 7, 3. We can't make a 7, 3. This is a 1, 9. Therefore, these are 5 and 7. Okay, so we've got a little bit of something going on here. That's a start. I guess we can keep on going with our odds and evens and see how these Kropkis are going to be affected by them. Because we know this is going to be 2, 4, or 6. We know this is going to be 2, 4, or 8. 8 could go with 7. 4 could go with anything. 2 would have to go with a 3. That still works. There's nothing here. It doesn't seem that prevents any of this, so that didn't really get us anywhere. Was there any of these other digits that we could really use? Well, we can say this is, again, odd. The V clue, let's think about that one. So how does that work? It's either a 1, 4, or a 2, 3, so it's 1 odd and 1 even. So we already have an odd. This must be even. We have 3 of the evens. Oh, actually, we have all 4 even digits. So we're going to say that these are all odd remaining. This can't be 6. We don't have much else there. This can't be a 2, because we can't put a 2 on a 13 clue. We could, well, we have a 7, 9 pair here, so let's think about what this can be. Because if this is a 4, this would have to be a 9. We can't do that, so this is not 4. This is 6, this would be 7. We can't do that, so this is just an 8. And if that's an 8, this is a 5. These are not 8. We don't have a correlation there. Okay. 2 4s and 6s. Okay. All right, so what next? Let's think about this arrow. Because we know it's 3 cells, and they're all in the same region, so they must be different digits. So this is at minimum a 6. Oh, it can't be 8 or 9 from what we've currently found. So this is 6 or 7. So this has a 1 and a 2 on it. The other digit is either a 3 or a 4 to get to 6. Okay. Does that affect this? Because it can't be 2 anymore. It can't be 6 or 8, obviously, because it's a 5 clue. So this is a 4. Therefore, this must be a 1. This is no longer a 4. Okay, so we still haven't quite worked this out, but we're getting a little closer now. Oh, this 4. We just put the 4 down. This can't be a 7 anymore. So this is 6. So this is a 1, 2, 3. Then we have almost every digit. We need the other from the 6, 8, and it must go here, and it can't be an 8. This is a 6. Okay, this is 8 and 6. That 6 creates the 2, the 4, and the 6. There we go. Okay. Let's continue with our coloring. We're doing it, so we might as well just go whole hog with it. What does this 27 clue now give us? Because we've got 3 odd digits that we have to add in to get to our total of 27, and these are 10, so we have to get to 17. These can't be 5s. This can't be a 3. See if there's anything else there that's obvious, but I don't think there is yet. So how would we get to 17? 917 works, and 953 works. So there's always a 9 on here, but that's not super helpful. What about this 28 clue? Because we know this is from 2, 4, or 8. So we have, is it ever, so can we start reducing what these can be? Let's think about that. So if we had a 2, 4, we have 6, we'd have to have 22 more in 2 digits. We can't do that. If we had a 2, 8, we would have 10. We'd have to have 18 more. We can't do that because you'd have to use 2 9s. So there's no 2 here. Okay, so this is a 4, 8 pair, which means this is not a 4. And now that we have a little bit of a reduction, do we want to think about what these can be? Because if it's a 4, this could be a 3 or a 5. If it's an 8, it can only be a 7 because of the 1, 9 again. So this is always odd. What about you? Well, this is always going to be odd as well. But it's going to be from either 1, 3, or 5, or 7. That doesn't do a whole lot now, does it? Okay. Okay, let's think further now, because we know this is a 4, 8 now. So we're at 12, so we need 16 more. There's only one way to make 16. It's 9, 7. Okay, these can no longer be 7s. If this can't be a 7, this cannot be an 8. So this is a 4. We can't tell us what this is because 3 and 5 both work. Then this is 8. That 4 looks back and gives us 2 and 4. The 2, 3 looks over here. This is 1. These are not. We could have said this wasn't a 1 earlier, but doesn't really do much for us. This is odd. We don't necessarily have anything that differentiates these, but let's look at this row for a second. What are these 2 digits? We need 5 and 8. We can do that. This is 5. This is 8. So let's put those in for coloring. Did I hit the wrong button there? I did. Okay, there we go. Okay. We need... Well, we can't really decide which one of these is the last even or odd. So let's look elsewhere for a moment. any of these Kropkis or arrows do us much good. What about this guy? Because he seems to be semi-restricted. It could be from 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's not great. Because it could be 1, 2, 2, 3, or 3, 4, so there's no given digit on this one. Is there any Sudoku, maybe? Because we have a lot of digits at the moment. Oh, well, these two have to be odd, because we have all of our evens in here. No. Let's go back and look at our Sudoku. So we know there is a 1 and a 2 down here. We know one of these is a 5. That's about as far as we can go in there. Let's see if there's anything else that's more useful. One of these is a 4, because obviously this one can't be, it's odd. One of these is 4. Oh, we get a 4. There we go. None of these can be 4s. This is a 4. I don't think that takes us any further, but... Oh, it does actually, because it tells us there's a 4 over here now, too. So this is a 1, 2, 4. If it's 1, 2, and 4, this has to be a 1, 2 pair, and this is the 4. Then this is the 3, 5. So these are both odd, this is even, and this is one of each. And that 4 actually now does come over here and give us a 4. So we can get rid of that. And put a green in. Now, looking at the column, this is a 6, because it's the only digit even that we can put in here. This could be a 2 or a 6 still. What about the 6s, though? Let's go to 5s real quick. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I saw something with 6s, but we had started at 4s, so we might as well finalize. Where does a 6 go in this region? It must go here. And it just says one of these is a 6, not 5. Do we see anything in here? One of these must be a 6. If this was a 6, this would be a 3, and that could still work. Okay. 7s, we don't have any. Let's look at the 8s and the 9s real quick, just to make sure. I don't see... Well, one of these is an 8. I don't see much beyond that. Okay. And then we have no 9s, so... Okay, let's look at something else after we finish this coloring. What are these 2 digits? Because we only have 2 left. That's going to help us. These are from 7 and 9, which means this is 5 and 7. This is not 5. One of these would be 5. I was going to say these are from 2, 3, and 5, but I don't know that that gives us a whole lot. Okay, that was going somewhere for a second. Oh wait, this guy here. This can't be a 6, so it is a 2, but still we can't quite determine what that is. But oh, now we can, because this has to be 3 and 2. And I'm going to try not to sneeze here. Did it. Good. This is a 6. It's the last thing in this row. So it is... Oh, these are all odd. This is even. This must be odd. We'll just get through that. These are a 3-5 pair. And currently, there's nothing looking at it, but we'll probably be able to figure that out here in a little bit. This 6 actually sees this. This is a 2. Well, that one sees it too. And that 2 gets the 1 and the 2, so we can finish this region's coloring. Let's see if we can get all the coloring done on the outside here and leave another hole in the middle like we did at the that other puzzle that we did recently. Yes, these must be odd. we can do this one. This is even, and it's an 8. One of these is even, one of these is odd. Don't know that we can determine that. And we know that one of these is even and 2 of these are odd. Okay, maybe we can't get that done. What about you? Not quite. It almost could figure out where the even digit was, because this couldn't be a 2, but this one could still be a 2, or this one. Okay. So what do we have going on? We still haven't... Oh, there we had never finished our loop. We should have done that. This is even, so it has to go to an odd. It can't go in any of these two. And then it must now cut over. Okay, so our loop is finished. That's good. Is there anything else? What about you? You're a 7 or a 9. You two are what? 3, 7, and 9? It looks like that's correct. One of those is a 3. Okay. Now, can we do anything? We haven't reduced these guys almost at all. So we can't really do much on our 27 clue. Gotta have okay, 5s in this column. This can't be a 5 because it's on an X clue, so it must go here. That's going to give us a 3 and a 5. Good. Now maybe we have something in 5s. You know one of these is, but that's not a great thing to think about. We know one of the, like I said, one of those is the 5. Okay, no, I thought I had some again, I didn't. Can we think about what this 10 cage is? We know it's both odd. So again, it's either 1, 9 or 3, 7. This can't be 7. This can't be 3. Huh, but that's all we can get out of that. Okay. So, where's the next bit of info that we can really use? We haven't even thought about this arrow, but it seems like there's a lot that this could be. Is that true? Or we need to start looking at some of these other odd digits, or try to figure out some more odds and evens. Because this has to be odd, and it can't be 5 or 3, so it's 1, 7, or 9. I don't think we're going to get much out of these guys, because we don't really have anything looking at it. This 7's the only thing. Okay. So that's not doing. Oh, the 6 here removes this as a 6 now. Let me just make sure that is accurate. Yes, it is. So this is the last place a 6 can go. So it forces a 3. Good. That is helpful, because now we know this is 3, so this cannot be a 3, 7. So it is a 1, 9, which gives us 7 and 9, which means we can move 9 here. Good. That's a little something. So we're going to know what these two are, and I'll color the rest of this in a second as well. What are they? They are 7 and 8. Let's get rid of that. This is odd. This is even. Can't do the 7, 8 just yet. What will these two digits be? From 1, 9, and 2. This can't be 1. Okay. I was going to say we know one of these has to be a 1 or a 9 because they can't both be over here. Or one of these 3 has to be, but that... Oh, 1, 9 here actually is very helpful. This is a 7. Glad I started talking about 1, 9 pairs, because I probably wouldn't have noticed that. This can't be 7. Now we actually do have a little bit more information about our 27. because we have 6, 4, and 7. We're at 17. We need 10 more. So this can't be a 5. This can't be a 3. So it's either a 1, 9 pair or it's a 7, 3 in this specific orientation. Again, oh wait, the 1 here says this is not 1, so this is not 9. So there's a little bit of reduction there, but it's still kind of poking its head out. Can we do anything more here, or do we need to start thinking about this guy? Or do we want to go again look back at our Sudoku? Because we had a couple of things pop up for us. I don't necessarily, well, no. I thought I saw something, but I didn't. 2, so we can do 2s. None of these are 2s, so this is. Does that break anything? No. There has to be an 8 in one of these, and it can't be. Oh, actually, let's just look at these, because now we have everything except for 2 digits. They have to be, of course, 7 and 9. Okay, that actually helps us, because 7, 9 pair will tell us this is a 1. We can color these in odd. 3, 5. We need a 7 in one of these 2, and it can't be here. So this is 7. This is 8. This is now just a leftover of 8. Good. Let's do some more coloring. Keep everything nice and tidy. What are these 3 digits? Because we might be able to now use this arrow to break all this up. It looks like we're right on the edge here. So 3, 4, and 5. Of course not. But is there anything looking at it? This can't be a 4. Because we can still make 7 or 9. 3, 4, or 5, 4. Oh. Well, maybe that's what it is. We have to have a 4 on this no matter what. Because 7, you have to use 3, 4, 9, you have to use 4, 5. So this is 4. This is not 4. We still don't really know what this is, but we've got a digit now, which means this is 4, and it is even, which means this is 2. This is odd, and it is not 2. That is a 1, 9 pair here, which means this is the even 2. Good. All right. Now we're getting down into 7, 9 pair. Means this is a 3. It also means this is a 1. And this is the 5. And we know these are the last 2 of 3 and 9. Nothing sees that, but the 3, 9 does look at the 1, 9. And that will give us the 1, 9 up here. 7 9s. So what are these 2 digits? Maybe we can figure those out. What do we need? We need a 3 and a 5. And that is going to give us exactly what we need. So 3 and 5. There's a 5 here. So this is 3, 5, 9, 3, 1. And those don't necessarily... But we actually know what this digit is. It must be an 8. And this is either a 7 or a 9. So we've got this 7 9s going all over the place. Let's do some coloring real quick. I think this will finish all of the colors. It does. So now we can just focus on what we need to differentiate these things. Oh, here we go. This is going to be a 9, but let's just do the math on it. We've got 10, 11, 18. This is 9. So now we can just go through and break all this up. And 9 and 7 and 9 and 7. And that forces the 3, 5. So this is 7. So this must add up to that. That all works. And we get 9 and 7. There we go. You solved the puzzle. Solution is correct. It actually took a little bit longer than I thought it did. I felt like I was at this for maybe 20 minutes tops, but I guess doing all the coloring and stuff like that, that made it work. So we've finished the puzzle. We've got our loop completed. Making sure we do, yes. It's not touching anybody. It's not doing anything. So it looks like it's all good. So we got it. Cool. Hope y'all enjoyed this one, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.